What's going on, guys? It's your boy Randy Dandy here, bringing you another gameplay. In this video, we're going to be talking about the divisions I've been running since the revamp of the system. In just a second, you're going to see it pop up on your screen. It does go by kind of quick. Make sure to hit that pause button so you can get a good look at it. I'm going to showcase a lot of clips today in order to show you how well the division actually works. This is the class loadout I'm currently running. Top left is actually going to be the loadout itself, while in the top right hand corner you can see what the armor division actually brings. The most important thing to notice in the class setup is the actual class setup itself, not just the division, but also the gun, the basic training, and what I'm actually running as lethals. First thing we're going to talk about is going to be, optimizing your class to have the highest KD, to be the best player possible. I'm optimizing my PPSH, which is the most dominant SMG. It is a fact. It's what the pros use with grip, quick draw, and extended mags. Extended mags, obviously, because I get more ammo. I don't have to run hustle. Hustle is a basic training that allows you to reload faster, but it does take away, another basic training that would be more important for actual kills. The next thing I'm going to run is going to be the grip. The whole point of grip is so I can be accurate. I don't spray and waste those bullets, that I have extra to kill multiple enemies. Quick draw is something I prefer to run just because ADS in this game, or aim down sights, is not as good as it could be. So whenever I'm coming out of sprint, I need to be able to kill my enemies as fast as possible. The next thing to talk about is actually going to be the basic training I'm using. There's a lot to choose from. Blitzkrieg, in my opinion, for public matches, for getting the highest KD and the most kills possible, is going to be the best, especially if you play modes like Domination, where really the only way to earn your score streaks is to actually play the objective. And even playing the objective, because you're only getting 50 points a kill, I believe it's 75 if you're on a base, you're not able to earn exactly, 1 for 1. It's more like 3/4 or a half each time. Even capturing an enemy objective really is only about equivalent to a kill and a half. And if you don't get any kills in the meantime while capturing that objective, you're not actually really working towards your score streaks, especially if you die trying to capture the base. What Blitzkrieg is allowing us to do is, for each kill we get, not only are we actually getting a notch in our belt towards our next kill streak, but each kill streak we get is improved, and we're actually getting more points when we use our kill streaks. For example, whenever you get a kill with your kill streak in Domination, you're not getting 25 score, you're getting 50. Your paratroopers are getting 50, your carpet bombing's getting 50. You're not getting those 25 points. So cumulatively speaking, you're actually getting more XP per match, which is really nice if you're trying to rank up. It's really nice if you're trying to get the maximized score per minute. But at the same time, what it's important to remember is that you are not having to get these really low score amounts per kill, per whatever you're doing, in order to earn your score streaks. Beyond improving UAV, making it last longer, you also get an extra paratrooper. Your ball turret gunner is much more steady. Your firebombing run lasts longer, and when the flames dissipate, people can't see them and they run into it. It's an all-around awesome perk if you are trying to get the most kills possible. The next thing we're going to talk about, which is really the showcase of this entire commentary, this entire gameplay, is actually going to be the armor division. Originally, whenever you were running a submachine gun, you'd have to run the air, well, not have to, but you'd have to run the airborne to, move faster and really take advantage of everything that the submachine gun, the fast play style, had to offer. Now, with the way things are set up and you're not really restricted in, which division you run with which gun, armored is by far going to be the best for a couple reasons. One, it's got built-in primed. You're not dying to grenades, so you don't have to run hunker. You're not dying to the godforsaken freaking shotguns with the flames, because you got, increased resistance to flame damage, which means, Molotov cocktails, as rare as they are, and flame shotguns as common as they are, and realistically, even running into a firebombing run, that extra protection from the flames is going to help you a lot. You're also going to notice that with this division, when you're running around, you're going to get less flinch, which is, again, that built-in primed. Whenever you're getting shot at, you're going to win more gunfights, however slight it may be. Alright, you've got the class set up, you're ready to get into your first public match with it. Let's talk about a few tips that are actually going to help you take advantage of the class and keep that high KD and be the best player you can. First thing I want to talk about is map positioning, because this is really crucial. A lot of YouTubers will give you the advice to stay around the outskirts of the map, that way nobody can come up behind you. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the biggest thing in order to keep a high KD and be the best player you can is to actually use the advantage of the map spawn. So every map has a predetermined number of spawns depending on where your players and the enemy players are. Knowing these spawns is what's going to allow you to take advantage of the system and actually keep a high KD. So what you want to do is actually, believe it or not, whether you're going to die or have the risk of dying, you're actually going to want to go as close to the enemy spawn without flipping them or causing them to spawn somewhere else, and get as close as you can and run a circuit. So a circuit would be on Ardennes Forest running between the cabin and the mid lane. The mid lane obviously being the main street, keeping them in their spawn, and every time they run out, you kill them, you rotate. Obviously you have to have good gun skill, but at the same time, this is the easiest way to predict your enemy's movements and keep them from coming behind you, unlike going on the outskirts of the map when they could be spawning in the other 90%, and whether not going to get came up behind on, but you don't know exactly which way they're going to be running at you, whether it's to your left, right, or whatever. Knowing their spawns and keeping them there, and it's kind of scummy, but farming them for kills is the appropriate way to actually get the most kills and take advantage of this class setup. Another popular topic that people have is going to be a sensitivity. What sensitivity can I run to be the best player I can be? I'm here to tell you, as somebody who again is above average player, I watch a lot of the pro videos. I've had a chance to tweet a couple of the pros and ask their opinions. A lower sensitivity is not a bad thing. Everybody in Call of Duty has this belief that the higher my sensitivity is, the better the player I am. It's just not true. Higher sensitivity is beneficial for two reasons. One, you can turn left to right quicker, you can check corners and then be right back on target watching your center, ready to, aim down sights at whoever's coming at you. Or you can turn on somebody who comes up behind you. This very rarely happens if you play properly. Ultimately, what a higher sensitivity is going to do for you is it's going to make it very hard to aim at long range. Your snap reactions are going to be a lot more shaky. And truth be told, higher sensitivity is not necessarily going to make it easier for you to, acquire your target versus if you're already aiming in the right direction because you've paid attention to the spawns and, you're going to have that aim from a slower sensitivity. But even taking that into account, at the end of the day, it is whatever sensitivity is most comfortable for you. A lot of people will tell you to go and do a private match and play against recruit bots. Again, I don't believe in that just because a recruit bot is not going to have the same dynamic, reactionary movement as a player would. The only way to get better at your sensitivity, get better at your aim, is just to play a couple hours a day or play whatever time you can and learn from your deaths and, just get acclimated to a sensitivity. The best way to really do this is if you can play successfully, in a match and get a bloodthirsty, which is 5 kills in a row without dying, and you feel like you're still moving too slow, up your sensitivity. If it gets to a point where you're having trouble getting those 5 kills, those bloodthirsty medals, maybe time to go back down to the most comfortable sensitivity, and that's how I did it. The final piece of advice I can give you in this video is going to be positioning on the map. One of the hardest things to do for any average or below average player is being able to have situational awareness of where your teammates are, where the red dots or the enemies are shooting currently, and where they're going to be. A lot of people would call this like reading, like a quarterback reading a passer or reading a defender. What you have to do with this is, first and foremost, to get the most kills, you want to isolate yourself unless you're in a time of need, you're low on health, you need to pull back. In the most situations, you want to be on your own. You want to be predicting where the enemy's coming, as you're running your circuit in the spawn. But at the same time, not only do you have to be aware of where the enemy is, but you have to be aware of where your teammates are. The only effective way to run a circuit in a spawn is, with multiple lanes, you have to know that, okay, I've got 3 teammates on this side, I've got a teammate to my left, and for the most part, they should be doing their due diligence and watching this, so I shouldn't die this way. Well, one of the part of the situational awareness with that is you have to be able to realize, okay, this teammate just died, which means this lane is open. This guy is either going to cut back or he's going to come this way, he's going to come at me. If you're not paying attention, this is what's going to end your streaks. This is what's going to prevent you from getting those blitzkrieg streaks and getting the most kills possible. Best advice I can give you to this is, dart your eyes, check your map, mental note, check your map, mental note, check your map, and move on, so on, so forth. Use the knowledge you gain each time you check your map to, reposition yourself accordingly as not to get caught out in tight corners or get caught out in a situation where you now have an enemy on both sides where even if you kill the one you read, you're going to die from behind because they're putting you in a pinch. They're coming at you from both sides. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope these tips and tricks are going to help you to be the best player you can be. If you did enjoy the video and it did help you raise your KD a little bit, I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like. Don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified when the latest videos go up. There's a little bit of gameplay left. I hope you guys enjoy. Please stick around. Thanks. I'm out.